Oh, hey, Fig Fam. How are we? I'm in my backyard. We have some nice fall-like weather here in North Carolina. Probably is another false fall, as we'll have warm weather through September and October. But I'm harvesting figs, I'm harvesting fruit, and I'm loving life. And as I take a step to sit back and enjoy it more, especially with this harvesting season that's going on, I got a cool thing to play with. The squirrels have been loving it, but more importantly, the birds have been loving it. And where I live in Wilmington, North Carolina, where the forest meets the coast, I have a wide array of birds. And I always talk about how I get like pileated woodpeckers, I get ospreys and Cooper hawks, and I get a lot of songbirds too. I'm in a region of the country where I get like painted buntings, tufted titmouse, all kinds of birds. And so this actually, Birdfy, this company reached out to me and said, hey, like if you really like birds, like we'd love to send you the bird feeder. And you can see it up here and it's empty. So I'm gonna refill it, hopefully get some birds to come. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit because I said I would, but it's been working and it's been really cool. And actually it's been keeping, the squirrels like it too, but the birds and squirrels are now leaving my figs alone because I have this awesome bird feeder. And it has HD cameras, so I have the footage to prove it. So I actually came out here to refill it, and I'll talk about it while I refill it. There they are. Get my bird seed. I actually got to plug it in. It came unplugged. And I have this handy dandy ladder. I made it just high enough that the birds feel comfortable, but that I feel comfortable with a small step ladder because you want it to be safe. I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit, but as you can see, this is a 3-step ladder, and I put it in the back of my property, and I have a huge thicket here. This is where nature meets my property, and I want it to all just kind of fuse together. So having a nice bird feeder is perfect for that. What I need to do is actually plug this in so I can get the footage, because it has 2 HD cameras, so I can actually check it while I'm at my office, and it actually kind of doubles as like a general nursery camera, like almost like a security camera, because it picks up motion, and you can adjust the sensitivity to it. And then it has like AI, so it tells me the bird species or the animal species when that motion happens. And it doesn't run on batteries. I don't have to keep it plugged in somewhere because it runs off of the solar panel that was like surprisingly efficient. And the cameras tell you how much energy they have at any given time, which is kind of awesome. And they actually, when they do get disconnected, have a really long battery life. I grew up birding with my grandmother in central Pennsylvania. There's actually a surprisingly diverse amount of birds there. And I grew up, especially in her backyard, or we'd go out to different nature preserves or different creeks and observe the birds there when we were just being in nature. But she always had a radiator, and on the windowsill above the radiator, she kept her ornithological bird book. And we always had the bird book so we could identify. And I think having a really nice bird feeder and caring about it, I let that tradition live on in my life with my late grandmother, which is pretty awesome. Down here, my aunt lives a few hours away in North Carolina, has lived here for a long time, has an awesome array of birds that I'm actually trying to bring to this space here that are all on that eastern North Carolina coastal area plain. I'm not trying to attract any coastal birds here. If I do, they just might as well be over on the water because I'm right near the saltwater creeks and intercoastal waterway of our coast here in southeastern North Carolina. But I have beautiful woods. I have a thicket right here and the birds love it back here. And I'm giving them a space to hang out right here. Especially if I'm taking up all this space doing my own agricultural stuff, sometimes it mixes with nature, and rather than trying to crowd nature out, bring them in and have their own space to enjoy it together. Let me show you up close what I'm doing. So here's my setup, and I actually drilled it into the tree gently right here and framework down here. And you can see it did come with straps that I could wrap around this tree, and if I zoom in, you can get a better perspective. It came with straps I could wrap around, but it was sagging too much. And so to make it strong and reinforce it, you can see here, it really holds weight well. It doesn't bend. And you can see I'm completely empty after about a month of having it. The squirrels mess with it a little bit, but I'll show you how I keep the squirrels off of this thing when I'm not here. It's kind of cool. But we're gonna put some bird seed up in here, and it's easy. I can either lift this piece off here, or it just fills in the top. Look at that. Let's put some birdseed in it. And my app that's on my phone right now on the screen that you can't see is actually sensors are going off saying, hey, there's something here. So that's pretty cool. If you look closely, you can kind of see the camera moving back and forth. See that camera? And that camera will vacillate back and forth and pick up, take pictures, record snippets of when wildlife is here. And then this one is stationary. So I have the dual, which is pretty cool, especially when you get a fun bird. There it goes. You can see the camera moving. You can see my beautiful space here. So for bird seed, I went with a variety, like a mix, because I wanted to get all my finches, my bluebirds. I don't get blue jays a lot, but I also don't mind not getting blue jays because they can be bullies for the other birds. Not as bad as squirrels. They can certainly make a scene. But I wanted to show you how this goes. I have at my house a lot of Carolina wrens, fitting, right, because I'm in North Carolina, and they're really nice birds. And they like generally all the feeds that I get, and I get ones that are returning. This feed has corn in it, so I know the squirrels will come for that. I love cardinals, and that's the North Carolina state bird. And it's a state bird for like 4 or 5 states at least. But they're an awesome bird. They're a beautiful songbird. And we get them in the winter and in the summer. And that's pretty fantastic. This reservoir actually works really well. And you can just like let it settle out, and it does backfill easily. So I'm doing this once every few weeks. I might even just show you guys the recording of this from the camera so you can see how good the camera is. But most people who are gardeners have a relationship with the rest of nature anyway. So as I age into my life as a homeowner, parent, and goals to be like, have this beautiful garden and animals and grandparent and all of these things. All right, I got the birdseed mix. Check this out. Now, I'm gonna clean off these cameras, but it's kind of really cool. Let me show you. So right here, as you guys saw before, this was all empty. And now I filled up the reservoir. I put this back on, and so I have a nice mix. This perch is really handy. And so I have 2 HD cameras here, and they're equipped with lights and a microphone. And I'll tell you, the best way to keep the squirrels off of this, it has a few strategies. Now, not all squirrels are created equal, especially for areas. Some are relentless, huh? And that clicks on right there easily. So this thing's ready to go again. I have it plugged in, the solar panel works. Even on overcast days, there is solar potential, so it will charge. But what's great about this is that there's a light, there's a noise, and there's a microphone. Like legit, I could talk to someone that needed, if I need to talk to someone in my backyard, say my wife was out here with the kids, I could do it through here. But I usually will tell the squirrels to shoo and get off of here using the microphone, and it's the best thing that has worked for me. And it's the best thing that's worked for me out of the light, the noise, and the microphone for keeping the squirrels off of here. It's hard to do. I've got about, in this thicket alone, I have about 8 nests of squirrels. So a relocation strategy might be in order, but at the same time, they were here before me. So birds can land here, 1 camera, 2 camera. This one rotates back and forth. They record 30-second clips of my birds, sometimes more, sometimes less. They'll take photographs. And with the microphone, it also has a speaker. The speaker system picks up the bird calls too. So any of you bird enthusiasts, but I know they have a few other products. I might actually attach some suet at some point and relocate the camera so I can see if I can get some of my woodpecker friends and other bird friends to get to the suet. I get the gambit, and if I get some buntings out here, that would be the coolest thing ever. So I'll show you where I watch this from my house. I'm gonna find a better spot for these. Coffee. Ran out of it this morning from we make our own coffee, but I'll go to my favorite joint here in Wilmington just for the treat. The bird cam went off and I go out there. If I miss it, it's recorded it. So I can be like, I think I had this bird here today, and I have footage of it. Let me zoom you in to my beautiful space. So I get to go out here and I look amongst all my trees. There's my bird feeder. It seems far away, and I think that's the point, is that I want to immerse it in nature and not have the risk of, like, if I bring it closer to my house, not getting the birds I want to see. But if I immerse this in nature, it's almost like a wildlife camera at the same time as a bird feeder. And so I'm in this nice little Goldilocks zone where it's far away to capture the birds that are a little more skittish and afraid to get close to humans. Also, I want you to look, here's some of the footage that I get of the birds. You'll see the Carolina wren, you'll see this female cardinal that's been coming a lot. Cardinals I just mentioned them earlier why I love them. It's our state bird, but they have the best call. It's so refreshing to hear. The residence is perfect on it. So this is my screened in porch. When it's hot and buggy, we oftentimes come in here. The kids love doing imagination time in here. And this little ledge here is great for my kids to look out and see the birds from here. So when I get my notifications, we can come out. It's a great angle for your bird feeder. So if you're looking for a place to put a bird feeder, you want it to be close enough you can see the birds, but far enough that you're not disturbing them. And I might get a second one just to have right there, because it would be nice to have that section set up and that section set up. But you can see from here, I can look out and you can see right onto that pine tree. So when I'm coming out here getting ready for my gardening day, it's such an awesome addition to my vantage point of my backyard. I have all my gardening seeds, I have my plant orchard, I have my raised bed. Of course, I have my Birdfy feeder. So it's pretty beautiful, and it's a beautiful addition. And it's nice to introduce really fun technology to something that we've done for eternity, and that is observing wildlife. And it's been a beautiful addition to this space. So when the company reached out to do something with me, I said, of course, I'm always watching birds. Happy to do this with you guys. Thank you for the equipment. If you guys are interested in bird feeders like this, I'll have a link in the bio with a promotion code as well. I was not paid for this. It was just a joint like, hey, let's do something together because we love birds. And if you really like this, like, subscribe, reach out with questions in the comments, reach out with feedback in the comments. I'm here to share my gardening, growing, scaling with you guys. So thanks so much for the journey. Cheers.